I'll get you, shark. The head, the tail, the whole damn thing. The final recap. I'll be real with you guys. I had a little too much fun yesterday, so some of my recaps are gonna be questionable. Shark Week Night 7, which means Shark WeCap Episode 7. 7? What's that you say? Is that the number of days in a week? It is. First show that the ghosts of Shark Island. Nope. 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 First show of the night, the sharks of Ghost Island. Ah, there it is. So a long time ago, the lighthouse keepers that lived there disappeared, never to be seen again. Nobody goes around there no more, except sharkies. So we're there with Dr. Craig O'Connell and Andy, and we're gonna find out if it's a shark habitat so we can protect it. Hooray! My notes are questionable at best. What I gathered was that they were trying to get like a shark count going. They had a shark counter, like they were keeping track, 1, 2, 3, and they're trying to get as many sharks tagged and identified in the area so that they can make sure that this water is protected. But what I wrote down was, oh no, a thing. Voiceover said these sharks punch above their weight. These sharks can punch? Somebody yelled, shut the back door. Now, shut the front door is shut the fuck up. But what's shut the back door? Is that like, shut your butthole? Shut your butthole, man. They've got nocturnal camera traps. They got more brubs. They really just gotta get their numbers up. They got the shark counter. They've got lasers to measure sharks. They've got a turtle decoy. There's like a mystery shark in the darkness. Now, like, what is it? Is it a tiger? Is it a great white? Bull sharks? Lemon sharks? What could it be? Silkies? So many sharks. There's a baby tiger, and they put a camera on a 3-foot tiger shark. It's so little. 3 feet, I guess, is bigger than that. I could be, you don't know, I could be giant. They're following their tags. They're trying to get the shark numbers, and suddenly the boat stops. Ghosts! They said they were 20 miles from help. But again, I had a fun day and was like, my God, they're 20 miles from hell? So I wrote down 20 miles from hell. Help. The P's important, Shalia. Then they see a solo lemon shark, female, and they only go by themselves places when they're gonna give birth. So maybe Ghost Island is a pupping ground, and that would make it extra important to protect. They keep trying to tag a tiger, and they're like, there's no sign of the tiger. Down, 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 down. This is a really long setup. No sign of the tiger. Start further in the song, Shalia. It's your bit. The shark count gets up to 10 sharks, and there's such variety. Oh boy, this can be a protected place. And then the ghosts will never have to deal with you humans again. Second episode of the night was Wicked Shacks. And I cannot really do a Boston accent, but I'll try for the sake of Wicked Shacks. Okay, what's my in? What's my in for Boston? I mean, everybody always says park the car, which is a pretty good one. Wicked Shacks. Angry Catholics. Racism. I could just do the whole thing in a Grey Gardens accent. I'm better at that. The Atlantic great white shark population. I can't not do long. It's just Long Island, I'm sorry. Greg Scomo's gonna try to track the great white sharks around the eastern seaboard, northern eastern seaboard of the United States, New England. The New England Atlantic shark population can get very close to where people swim. It's very, very Jawsy. Having just watched Jaws like an hour before this started, I can say with some certainty that they based their B-roll on Jaws. The goal is to try to make sure that there's enough great whites in the area that are tagged so that they can sort of keep track of where Their movements are around swimming areas with the hopes of being able to set off like shark alarms and clear the water if there's one too close. They have all these listening buoys strategically placed around to be able to listen for pings and make sure that everybody's safe. One of these sharks is named Scarface, and I know we've met Scarface before. There's another shark named James. How did James and Scarface meet? What event did James and Scarface meet at? It's a very, very different friend groups for James and Scarface. So they get a video tag on, and those are the ones that like release after like 48 hours, so you have to go find them or you don't get the video footage. And then a storm comes in, and so all the sharks go like deep and further out because they're trying to get away from the storm. So that means the tag's gonna be loose in the storm. And I was getting so stressed, and then I realized they've been showing footage from the camera the whole time, so I can take a deep breath because they're gonna find it. Greg has found that the population in this area is very eyesight oriented when they hunt. So what they see is gonna majorly affect what they go for. And another shark named Ninja. I feel like shark naming is similar to when I named all my imaginary cats when I was little. You just say whatever pops in your head, and then you're like, hey, there you go. James, Scarface, Ninja, trash can, tumbleweed, airplane. They're hoping to catch a predation of an Atlantic great white for the first time ever because nobody has that documented. So they're hoping to do it so that they can use that evidence to protect the sharks and the people. Joe Romero's there, and they're gonna go on a stakeout. They stayed up till like 3 a.m. Boys, go to sleep. Too late. Boys, quiet down in there. It's time to go to bed, huh? Let's turn the lights off and go to bed. You are gonna be miserable when you wake up in the morning, and I don't wanna hear about it. But they said, don't try this at home. Gentlemen, I live in a house. I can't. The seals are on the move. They have to go like through the sharks to get to where they hunt. And they're going in little protective packs and little bursts. Still no predation. They got another shark named Scrapper. And boy, is Scrapper trying to get a seal. But Scrapper keeps missing. The narration tells us that this has been a summer of firsts for Greg. First kiss, first love, first predation, a summer of firsts. Again, yesterday was a lot of fun for me. So I don't really remember how it ended. But I did manage to dress up like Richard Dreyfuss. So, third episode of the night was Sharks Gone Wild 3. Sharks Gone Wild! Okay, now here's my prepared statement about Sharks Gone Wild. Sharks Gone Wild is clearly based on the highly exploitive programming called Girls Gone Wild, where you take advantage of women and get them to sign waivers showing their tits. It's similar for the sharks. In years past, Sharks Gone Wild has been so many home videos of people doing really ill-advised things, and it always makes me really nervous that people are going to watch Shark Week and see the footage on camera, and then they'll be at a beach and see a shark and be like, I should fuck with it so that my footage can get on Shark Week. That's always my fear with this show. This year, it seems to have mostly been footage from scientists and researchers and people who have worked with Shark Week before that got some video on their own that wasn't a whole special but could be used. Whew. This feels safer, thank God. However, as much as the intention of this Sharks Gone Wild felt better than the previous two, they had a sharkometer. It was giving every video either 1 to 5 sharks out of 5. Too many emojis. It was trying too hard to be cool. Oh, hello, fellow youths. Want to check out my sharkometer with a happy emoji? Kids are smarter than you think they are. They don't need the sharkometer. The sharks are enough. Low point was the rotting horse in the ocean getting eaten. Not a fan of that. This sharkometer, I don't trust it. I think it's kind of a bullshit scale. There was a great white that was filmed floating on its back, swimming around, and then they explained that it's because it had recently eaten a lot of blubber, and that can make great whites flip because it's so buoyant, which is fascinating. And they gave it a freaking 4 on the sharkometer. What is the scale we're using here, guys? Ugh, the blubber tummy deserves a 5. Give it a 5 or your meter means nothing. There's a video of people saving a shark and it only got a 4. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want, Sharkometer? At least they gave a 5 to a whale shark being like freed from ropes. At least something got a freaking 5 that deserved it. Did you know they can carbon date whale sharks? So like they can be like, oh, this one's older than the atomic age. Science! I just hate the name. I hate the name. I hate it. Those poor girls, those poor sharks. The final program of night 7 of Shark Week. I Was Prey. Terrors from the Deep. Previous I Was Preys have had like 2 stories. This had way more stories. However, I fell asleep again. I'm so old. I can't wake up in the morning and be goofy for hours, and it takes up all my energy, and then edit things, then put them on the internet, and then interact with people, and then walk a dog, and then turn around and take notes and still stay up till midnight. It's too many things. So I go to sleep for this one, huh? I gathered some things. There was one guy who was around Monterey Bay, and he loved surfing, and the way he talked about it was really sweet. So he loved surfing. He got hit by a great white while he's out surfing, and he's like 100 feet out, and his friend was like, get yourself together, get back on the board, we gotta go. And they get in, and he's like, okay, I got this. And they get in, and like his friends luckily had like medical backgrounds, and he got out alive. And then they said that right after his interview, telling the story, he died in a car accident. This is sad. I'm getting sleepy at this point, but the second woman started talking about her husband from college, and I was like, oh no. If you marry somebody in college, tragedy will strike. And she's in Cancun with her friends, and they were like, we're gonna go shopping. And she made a point of being like, that's nice, but I'm not. So she didn't go shopping while her friends went shopping. She's in the water by herself, and some guys on jet skis are yelling, Tiburon, Tiburon. And she's like, I don't know the Spanish. And so she got hit by a shark. She said there's like all this pressure on her arm. She's like, oh my God, I get back in. And then I fell asleep. I don't know what happened to her. And then at some point I woke back up, and they seemed to be in North Carolina, because I wrote NC in my notes. And then the only thing left was I wrote in all caps, I made it. Did I? There were 4 stories in this. I can tell you what happened in 1 1/3 stories. I made it. I truly can't believe it, but that's the end of Shark WeCap, my Shark Week recap show, season 4. I've been doing this for 4 years. Can you believe it? Boy, how the world has changed. I started doing this in the summer of 2016, before shit started spiraling out. Whew, it's been a long journey. I had no bangs, then I got bangs, memories. I used to try really hard to have shark shirts every time, but now I just wear regular shirts and buy a background instead. What a year. What a year. I know I'm goofy as shit, but I do want to take a minute and say thank you to everybody who's been watching, and to say thank you to the amazing people from Shark Week who have actually like participated in my nonsense this year. Vicky Vasquez, Jimmy Partington, Neil Hammerschlag, and Allison Towner. I cannot thank you enough. I feel like Bat Kid, you know, when everybody in San Francisco was like, we agree to make this kid think he's Batman. I feel like that's what happened to me this week. Oh no, am I dying? You guys would tell me if I was dying, right? Oh no. Oh no. Thank you, Elise Brando and Jamie Walsh, for letting me do this in your house. Thank you, Lola, the dog, for letting me kind of ignore you all week. I'm sorry, we cuddle now. The final night of Shark Week is Naked and Afraid, which is, you know, it is what it is. So I'm not gonna recap it. That's the end of Shark WeCap, my Shark Week recap show for 2020. We live in the future, and boy, is it terrible. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie.